What's happening, everybody? It's Mikey, I'm Narby.
What's up, Goods?
Time for another whiskey review. We got a bourbon. We are doing Four Roses Small Batch 2014 release. This one is bottled at 55.9% ABV. We got a small little sample, 1 ounce sample here that we're sharing from Master of Malt. This is, again, an excellent way for us to try all kinds of whiskeys without having to commit to the full bottle. So rather than committing, let's say, to a few full bottles, you commit to a bunch of small samples. And for us, it's all about trying everything that's out there, especially in the high-end category, and then determining whether we think it's worth purchasing a full bottle or not. So we share these little sample reviews with you guys. We did a review of the 2013 edition of this, and that is both of our favorite bourbon that we have ever tried. So we're obviously naturally excited for this one because the 2013 was our very favorite, and here's the 2014 of this collector's item and high quality spirit. All bourbons tend to have, I should say almost all bourbons tend to have a very nice, rich, full golden color. And I'd say this one is actually, for a bourbon, almost a little bit lighter than most. It's a nice, full golden color. On the nose. There's this unique, with these Four Roses, both the 2013 and this one, there's this unique, like, sugariness. It's not so much of that corn syrup.
It's like brown sugar.
It's almost, it's like that Demerara like toffee style sugar.
Yeah, almost
molasses. And I don't normally get with bourbons. Normally, it's so much corn and maple. With that still here a little bit, but it's not as much. That Demerara style is coming out as well, and I love that. That's why the Four Roses bourbon tends to be my favorite. It's a little different.
Oh. I'm getting like super heavy spices, like the most amazing flavored cinnamon that you've ever experienced. Heavy ginger, sweet ginger, nutmeg, but all going along with, like what Narby said, very thick, rich, like Demerara or just cane brown sugar, like molassesy brown sugar, not like white refined sugar crap, not corn syrup, not what we're used to. Very deep and rich complexity.
You know what's cool about it? Think Oriental spices and think like a little soy sauce. It's got like unique, like when you like it's like walking into like a spice store, right? And you're getting some kind of like Indian spices almost, and like Oriental spices.
And instead of like the 2013, which was the 125th anniversary edition, very special edition, that was the biggest thing about it was the raspberries and the apricots. This is like he just said, the Oriental spices. This is like these crazy little mandarin oranges, like you put in a Chinese chicken salad. These little, very strong, concentrated mandarin oranges that are a little sweet, but also a little bit of the bitter orange that we love. It's very powerful in here.
It's also rich toffee. You do get some of the bourbon elements, the maple syrup, and it's almost like pancakes that are infused with some high quality maple syrup. Anything to add? It's unique. It's good.
Just that I've never gotten fruit elements out of a bourbon the way that I do out of Four Roses.
Yeah, it's unique. And you can tell even from the color, it's a little bit lighter. It's almost suggesting like the fruitiness. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's so powerful, and it's at the ABV that it is. I want to try to bring it down to closer to 48, but I want to try the cask strength first on the palate.
brown sugar.
Yeah.
Again.
Ooh,
Wow.
It's got some heat. It's definitely got some heat. Like he said, some brown sugar. Wow. Rich maple syrup and honey. Cinnamon spice, very spicy.
So spicy.
Slightly, yeah, very spicy.
Ooh, baby.
ABV a little bit too high for me for this, at least for this one. I would want to lower it a little bit, and we just did with water. It's sitting in there.
Agreed.
I lowered it down to closer to 50. Not very fruity on the palate because I think it's just a little closed up with the ABV. It's got a nice leathery element to it, and the mouthfeel actually was very, very dense, a little tannic, and I actually enjoy that part. But it's a little bit hot. It needs to kind of mellow out. So with the addition of water, let's revisit this.
Yeah, in some ways, like in the back of the palate, I'm getting very nice, super drying, very light, elegant, oaky elements, which are very good. But overall, it's closed up, and I don't think it's nearing its potential in the palate.
It's really fruity with water, man. This whiskey
There you
benefits from water.
There you go. Because, yeah, the first one, the 2013, that was 51.9%, which is fairly high. And even that, I mean, that's great. That's great by itself, but also that got better with water. So now this guy is 55.9%. This is definitely gonna need some water.
This is the 2013 release. How long have we owned this? When do we open this first? 3
years ago?
We did open it 3 years ago,
About 3
right?
years ago.
Yeah, about 2.5 to 3 years ago. Yeah. And I'm bringing it out because this has gotten so fruity, so creamy, and so luscious.
Unbelievable.
It's really, really improved. And I just want to say that the question comes up, what should we do with the oxidation? What should we do? Should we gas it? Should we let it be? Should we transfer it into a smaller vial? All those are very viable options. I could say that with our bottle that's open of Macallan 25, it actually, right at the halfway point, it kind of flattened out a little bit. It was better at the first half. This one, we haven't gassed it. We haven't touched it. It's been open for a long time now, and it's just kept improving. So it varies. It really, really varies from bottle to bottle. It varies if you want your whiskey to stay, like with peated whiskeys, do you want it to stay super peated? Keep it that way. The peatiness kind of starts mellowing out after a while. So if you want to, you want to gas it if you want it to stay super peaty. It all depends. The whiskey really, really changes. And if you do transfer it into smaller vials, or if you do gas it to keep it that way, you kind of won't find out what's going to happen to it. But the danger is it might turn for the worse too. So just kind of got to play with it. It's all up to each person. But this guy just keeps improving, and it's phenomenal. So we actually still haven't gassed it, even though it's all the way at the bottom. Clearly a bunch of air, and we'll probably just kill the bottle the way it is. Just wanted to bring that up. I know it's a question that comes up in the whiskey world all the time. All right, with the addition of water, it got much fruitier and sweeter. It does bring out a little bit of that corn syrupiness as well with the addition of water, but I'd say water benefits this overall. Let's try it on the palate.
Yeah, so this is interesting. Definitely still, one of the key centerpieces of this is the cinnamon. The strong cinnamon spice, the strong nutmeg, the strong clove, the strong ginger, but adding water, it added a bunch of fruit elements. So imagine you take like apricots and peaches and apples and pears, and you load them with syrup and with cinnamon and nutmeg and clove and ginger. So that's kind of cool.
This, and it's not, now the mouthfeel is, it's really good. Really, really good bourbon. The mouthfeel is creamier with a little addition of water. It brings out that beautiful cinnamon that Mike talks about. The mapleiness is there. There's the honey's there. The fruits The fruit elements are there. The leatheriness still exists in the back of the tongue. The dry tannins are a little bit less, but it just kind of plays
there,
all
baby.
over. Yeah, the front of the tongue is fruity. Then towards the middle, you're getting like that toffee and caramel and all the spices that we talked about, like soy sauce and almost like approaching Indian spices. It's unique that way. And then once you get all the way back, it's tannins and leather, and gets almost like dark chocolate and salted caramel. Overall, really good, really, really good. If you're a bourbon guy, and bourbon is what you prefer over, let's say, Scotch whiskey, these are must owns. We obviously prefer Scotch whiskey over bourbon, but when it's high quality like this, we definitely have a nice high appreciation for it. I would say the 2013, I'd say, is still definitely better than this one. Obviously, when you get to try one a bunch of times, you get a true feel for it. This is just trying a half ounce each. So, but for me, this is an 89 out of 100.
I'm torn, but I'm gonna give it a 90 out of 100.
Yep. Very good. What we both gave the other one a 91, I believe. I can't remember what our score was, but it was a really good score.
Yeah.
Really, really loved it. But yeah, that one stands out more to me. But again, this is at original price. I would buy it in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
All right, you guys. We'll see you guys soon for another review. Please subscribe if you haven't. Click the like button. It just kind of lets us know that we should keep doing these reviews. All right. Cheers.